I am first going to talk about the book Holes. Um, it's obvious that it was an amazing book, and um, it got a lot of attention and won numerous awards based off of it. And I think one of those reasons it got all that attention and publicity was because of how relatable it was. Um, One example of it being relatable is I feel like everyone has been accused of doing something wrong and then was blamed for it, which was had what had happened to Stanley. I mean, he didn't steal those shoes. um, I think it shows value and hard work and also being treated unfairly, which kind of goes with like the first one. Um, and I feel like we've all it. The author describes how Stanley was feeling throughout all of the work, and we've all felt like that when when um, we've done hard work or yard work, all those kinds of things. Um, I think one of the things, another thing was the incredible amount of strength and perseverance Zero and Stanley showed through their journey as soon as they left camp. I think just the journey itself, like everyone has their own journey in life and different obstacles they have to overcome, and um, yeah, I think the author did a, an awesome job of being able to um, relate to like the reader. Yeah. So next part is how the book relates to fairy tales, folklore, and legends. There was a lot of different examples that I like had a hard time even like finding. I mean, like it was very visible throughout the book, but it was I was having a hard time remembering like the names of everyone, so bear with me. Um, so the very first legend that was mentioned was the one with the young boy and the woman, and the young boy was trying to impress the girl and trying to like win her heart, and couldn't unless he had like some kind of pig to trade like the dad with, um, and the whole reason behind that um, legend was he broke her deal that they had with one another, and he was supposed to bring her to the top of the lake as soon as um, or like yeah, bring her to the top of the mountain as soon as um, he came back from like having the pig or whatever, but he decided just to leave, um, and went to the United States. But the other side, if he broke his deal, then he would have a curse, and it was the curse of Stanley Yelnats. I would say it. I would describe it as, because every Stanley Yelnat afterward would have an incredible amount of bad luck. Um, there's a lot of symbolism in of just how people were treated like back then on the Green Lake, between the teacher and I think he had a goat. That man, the black man, had a goat, and then ended up the teacher and him ended up kissing, and then that was illegal for a black man to kiss a white woman, and he ended up being killed on the boat, and then the boat was found later on during their journey. There was a lot of different legends and stories that were related in the book and ended up um, what's it called showing up afterwards, because like I'm trying to word things after Zero and I can't remember his name, Zero and Stanley were found, like after all that had happened, they ended up with the treasure that was planted, which the woman with the venom for lips, or the old teacher, um, she ended up hiding it somewhere. I think it was the same person, but yeah. Um, there's a lot of different legends throughout this entire book that characterizes lots of different things, different people, different characters, and that was super cool. I think for the time of, like, you know, like a boy trying to win, like, the heart of the girl and, like, having to go through the father, I think that's, like that type of masculinity was like, the tradition of the time, and it was appropriate for the era. But I think, like, I mean, in comparison to, like, 2019 now, like, how they constantly were like, oh, like, you need to be a man, you need to be stoic, like, I think that's just, it kind of goes along with how, like, law enforcement, they need to be able to, like, hide their emotions and be able to, like, what's it called? Look professional, be professional in their work. I feel like there's a difference, though, between how the people at the Green Lake camp were treated and then, like, being professional, though. I think there's nothing wrong with teaching, like, strength and perseverance, but, like, but at the same time, I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it. Like, I'm very moderate altogether as a person, so I'm, like, I see both sides, but can't really agree with both. I do, like, because most of them did commit crimes and were criminals, so, like, you know, I guess that, like, but they were also kids. I think there's nothing wrong with teaching strength and perseverance and, like, trying to teach, like, these kids that committed these crimes, like, important lessons, but I think there's a certain way to go about it that, I mean, it was kind of cruel. Digging a hole every day is a lot. They could have done something else more productive, for sure, that would have strengthened them as a person, and yeah. In the book, the Fantastic Flying Books of Mr. Morris Lesmore, that is a very long title. There we go. Joyce uses text and illustration to tell a story of a man who, for a great love for his books, and I will emphasize the word great. I think the author uses both, like, both text and illustrations equally. It's not, like, one more than the other. The imagery and the text go hand in hand, and, I think he does a wonderful job of doing that. He uses personification for the books, and they are basically people, and Mr. Lesmore admired his books and, like, valued the fact that, like, they're always the same, and he was growing and changing and becoming older every single day. However, I think it was a very mature book. I think preschoolers would not be able to understand the value and the importance of time of, like, the book itself. So I think a good age to read the book to would be, like, second grade, because I think, like, they would enjoy the imagery of the book. Like, I mean, I thought it was super cool, like, seeing, like, instead of balloons, it was books that were flying, and, like, the woman or even Mr. Lesmore, like, flying up with them. I thought that was super cool. So I think like, second grade would be a good age for that, and they would have enough maturity at that age to at least somewhat understand the plot. So I hope you guys enjoyed the reading, and I will see you soon.